Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Ross. I'm a photographer and video maker from Northern Ireland. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm not sure how long you can get away with saying Happy New Year after the New Year has passed, but Happy New Year. It's the beginning of 2024, and would you believe it, but 365 days ago to the day, I drove down the road to Malile, which is where I'm sitting now. It started to rain, which is happening now, and I brought with me my original Fujifilm X100 to see if I could still take a good photograph with this camera that came out in 2010. Last year on my YouTube channel, I made 3 videos about this specific camera. The first one, as I said, was 365 days ago, and it was just to dust it off and see if I could still get a good photograph out of this camera. The second YouTube video I made last year about the original X100 was trying to design the ultimate JPEG recipe. I made one other video about this camera last year, and it was trying to use the optical viewfinder only on a trip that I took with Ruth, my wife, and her brother Patrick down in Dublin. So there are a few main reasons why I wanted to dust off my original Fujifilm X100 and start the year shooting with this camera. The first is that it is just so fun to use. This camera, like other Fujifilm cameras, has the shutter speed dial on the top, aperture on the front, and a built-in lens, which is a 35mm equivalent. It has an electronic viewfinder, an optical viewfinder, which you can switch by flicking this switch here. It has a macro setting. It has a built-in ND filter. It has a manual focus, single focus, and continuous focus switch here, but I just keep it on single focus. Because of the age of this camera, the focusing can be quite slow. That's one of the main downsides of using this camera, but that just forces you to slow down and really take your time over every single shot, which is a good thing. If you don't already know, Fujifilm's newest version of the X100, the X100V, was like the most popular camera of the last few years. It absolutely exploded. It sold out everywhere across the world, and the price of it skyrocketed. And rumor has it that Fujifilm are about to release the newest version of the X100, the X100R. I don't know if they actually are going to release that camera or if that's what it's going to be called, but that's just the rumor that I heard. So the thing about the X100V and the potential of a new version of the X100 is that they're over £1,000, and that is just so hard to justify, for me anyway. A camera for over £1,000 that has a built-in lens, a lens that you cannot detach from the body. Maybe I'm just saying that because 35mm wouldn't be my focal length of choice. Anyway, back to the original X100 that came out in 2010. This camera isn't going for £1,000. You can pick up one of these secondhand for only a couple of hundred, which is really good, I think. The battery life maybe isn't that good, and they are quite slow to focus, but apart from that, the images that you get out of the original X100 are incredible still. My absolute favorite way to shoot with this camera is on aperture priority mode. So the first step is to set your shutter speed dial on the top to automatic. Then the next step is to choose your ISO. If I'm shooting outdoors with this camera, I'll shoot at 800 ISO, and if I'm shooting indoors, I'll maybe change it to 1600 or 3200, something like that. And I've got this little function button here set to change my ISO. So once you've chosen your ISO and have your shutter speed dial set to automatic, the next step is to choose your aperture. So I generally try to keep my aperture between f2.8 and f11. Maybe not as high as f11, but definitely f8, f5.6 and f4 are great with this camera. f2.8 you can get away with. f2 for me is a little shallow, but some people like that. So yeah, that's probably enough rambling about the original Fujifilm X100 for today. Thanks so much for watching. Happy New Year, and enjoy these photographs. So I've been shooting for about 5 minutes with the original X100 in Barel, and the sun has come out and it's absolutely glorious. Every time I shoot with this camera, I just forget how much fun it is to use. It's like the perfect beginner camera for anyone out there looking for a cheap old camera to learn about aperture and shutter speed and all that stuff, exposing shots correctly. Get your hands on a Fujifilm original X100. I spoke too soon, the rain's on, but that's okay, I'm well used to it. The X100 isn't really that good in the rain. I don't have any sort of like lens hood or anything, so the lens just gets wet, but that's okay. I've got a tissue somewhere, we'll make it work. We made it work last time, so just gotta deal with the rain. It's Ireland, you know. There wasn't much going on in Barel. I don't know if there ever is. It's quite a quiet town. There aren't so many people about. Didn't get many photographs of people, which I like, but that's okay. This was just for fun, just to get out and shoot with the original X100. They're great to learn shutter speed with the shutter speed dial on the top, and aperture with the aperture ring on the lens, but you don't need to worry about like buying lots of different lenses. You can just stick with the 35 equivalent that's on this camera. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll have lots more videos coming in 2024, but until then, have a great day wherever you are in the world. I'll see you in another one soon.